What's up, everybody? Welcome back to That BS Guy, your one-stop shop for everything bariatric surgery related. Now, this is a long overdue video. I made something similar very shortly after my surgery, and now I'm going to make some updates now that I've gotten around 6 months in, got a little bit more, experience after the surgery, and with how things are working and what have you. So this video is post-bariatric stuff for men, part 2. So the deal here is that when I first started researching bariatric surgery, a lot of the YouTubers and information that I was getting were from female YouTubers. Let me be very clear, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong. However, there's certain content that I really wanted to hear about that I didn't get to hear about because, well, wasn't applicable to them. I now know how saggy boobs get. I mean, that's cool, but that doesn't really apply to me. Well, a little, but but not to that extent. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to create a type of video for my men folk out there, or even the ladies who are interested in knowing how, if their spouse or whatever is going to be having this surgery, how it's going to affect them. Because, if you're in a partnership with somebody and you want to know how things are going to be working, of what nuances, what differences there are, it's different. So let us start. So the first thing I want to talk about is, let's talk about, we're going to be real here. We're going to be real here, okay? We're going to talk about size. And yes, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the penis. And, in my previous video, I used an analogy of having a tree at wintertime. If you could have the biggest, most awesome tree, and you have snow, and that snow piles up, that big, huge tree looks like it's just a little tiny tree, okay? And it's very, very true. It's very, very true. And when I say this is that the more weight, the more inches that are coming off of you, you're gonna find that, you're no longer gonna have a dicky-do. And if you don't know what a dicky-do is, that's where your stomach stick out farther than your dicky-do. And the idea here is that it's gonna look different, and honestly, that aesthetic difference, it translates into actual added inches. Yes, I said the I word. You actually will gain inches back on your unit with the more weight that you lose. The closer that you get to your normal BMI index, honestly, the bigger it's gonna get. And I don't mean thickness wise. That's not gonna really change too much. I'm talking about length wise. So, a lot of guys that are bigger, sometimes are a little self-conscious because they don't look like they're packing like the skinny guys out there or the twig guys out there. But in reality, they could have the same exact size of unit, but they're just kind of fluffed up, and that fluff kind of lowers, makes the length not as apparent. So that is something to look forward to, gentlemen. Honestly, I'll just speak for myself, if I may. That I wouldn't be ashamed if anybody saw it, at least in comparison. I know that's really weird. Sorry for friends and family that are watching this, but what are you gonna do? It's just reality. So the idea here is, folks, that you have that to look forward to. And next, I want to talk about functionality. Okay, so in terms of sexuality, or I should say, the ability to sustain an erection, things of that nature. Yeah, it definitely. I started noticing it probably around month 2 or 3, where it almost kind of felt like middle school all over again, if you can believe it or not. I would not be doing anything, and all of a sudden it's what's up, dude? Oh shit, there's something going on there, and that's a surprise, a nice surprise, and one that leads to better things with a partner in the future. So that is something that I've definitely noticed. Now, I will also say diet will also have a big impact on that. If you're following your duodenal switch or your general bariatric surgery or your VSG diet that your nutritionist gave you, you're going to find yourself, your performance is going to be increased in that respect. Like you're going to be able to have that. That's now what I mean by that, it goes two ways, okay? Not eating crappy, okay? Getting rid of all that crap and burning clean, but also maintaining your levels of for vitamins and necessities. So if you have a surgery that requires you to take a vitamin supplement, make sure you do. If you have to, if you're recommended to have a certain amount of protein per day, make sure you do. Okay, all of those things are going to play in to your stamina. And if you're on the go like me, whether it be for work or whatever it may be, you're going to find your time. Like I definitely can feel. I may not feel hungry, but I can definitely feel when my energy is low. Okay, and that means I'll stand up and I'll feel lightheaded or whatever it may be. You need to make sure that your diet is on point, okay? Like just getting there, getting those things in order. So, though all of those things, diet, your actual weight, all of those can affect your, sexual prowess, whatever you want to call it. But, as long as you manage those things, which you should be doing anyways, just as part of the natural surgery cycle, okay? Like your recommendation there, you're going to find that, you're going to be, bigger, stronger, faster. Maybe not so much faster, but all those kind of things where you're gonna have more confidence in the bedroom, and then if your partner is the one having surgery, then you're gonna get the benefits from that. I'm not gonna complain that I'm gonna be better, in bed than I was before. That's a bonus. Like I'm gonna be like, yeah, guess what? I'm not going to disappoint you. That's one of the best things you can say, right? You don't have to be vulgar about it or anything like that. We're all adults here. Well, hopefully you're all adults. If you're not, good heck off this video. But either way, we're not being crude or vulgar. This is just reality that we're talking about. So, the deal here is that right now, gentlemen that are watching this, you have, a longer, I should say, member to look forward to, and then you also have a better propensity for stronger erections, and also just a better sexual experience overall from that moving that point forward. On top of that, your energy level in general. Now you would think by eating so many less calories that you would be kind of like downtrodden and be like, oh, I just want to play video games, or I don't really feel like no. Like honestly, I've gone dancing, within the last couple months, and I never really wanted to do that. It's because, my joints aren't hurting as much because of the weight loss, and that's just a general benefit over itself. But my energy level, because I'm following that nutritional standard that my nutritionist stepped forward, I have a lot of energy. I really do. It's not dying down. When I'm in a stage show right now, and one of the observers who observed me before surgery versus now, she's like, hey, what's really impressive is that, you may have lost like 130 pounds almost, but your energy level is still really high. And a lot of times when people lose that much weight, they lose a lot of that energy. And so maintaining that diet and getting that protein in is really, really, really key. And now, some other things that, you might want to also be aware of, gentlemen or whoever is watching this, is that in terms of, your diet and your exercise, you're gonna find yourself not being able to lift. Like if you're a weightlifter, or if you like doing weightlifting, you're gonna find yourself not being able to do as many reps and definitely not as heavy. And so my recommendation would try and find a really solid pre-workout mix that doesn't involve any carbonation or any kind of high sugar. That tends to work for some guys. I haven't gotten to that point yet where I have a schedule tight enough to be able to just solidly know when I'm going to the gym. So, but if you do have a nice, good pre-workout mix, I'm talking about the powders, things of that nature, that will probably give you the energy and that boost that you're going to need, because, obviously part of my surgery, which was a duodenal switch, it was that a lot of carbohydrates no longer sit well with me. And so because you're not carbo loading, your muscles react differently. It doesn't mean you're necessarily weaker. It's just, I'm just finding myself, in terms of weightlifting, not being able to sustain the same amount of weight or reps that I used to. Okay, I still can initially do it, absolutely, but like I burn out very, very, very quick in comparison to what I was before. So I think that pre-workout mix, if you're a weightlifter, if you're a person that wants to go do that, is also a very good option if that's something that you still want to do. Let's talk clothing for a second here. So gentlemen, there's a couple different options I'm going to suggest as far as transitional clothing and still trying to look the part. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say most of you who are doing this surgery, gentlemen, are probably single. Okay, I don't know what the heck the deal is, but a lot of the guys who are bigger tend to be single. Ladies, if you are watching this video, I'm sure it's a similar boat, but I've definitely noticed that a lot more ladies have significant others and spouses than the men who go through these surgeries too. So take it with a grain of salt, whatever it may be. But if you're trying to actively date as you're losing weight, or if you're trying to still look presentable and things like that, if you have a job that requires you to wear dress clothes, you're going to need to figure out a way to do that. So I do have some suggestions as far as clothing, where to buy them, and the brands that I do suggest for transitional clothing. Now, once you get down to your normal weight or whatever weight you're going to sustain at, then you can do your own thing, dress how you want, buy all the name brands you want, whatever, that's on you, buddy. But in terms of transitional clothing, this is what I suggest. So number one, probably the cheapest option is going to be thrift stores, Goodwill, things like that. You can always go in there, try and look through their XL, XXL, maybe large sections depending on where you are at in your journey, and just kind of see if there's anything whatsoever in there that might be worth taking home and definitely washing twice. The thing is, I personally haven't found too many things at thrift stores that are very appealing. I have a very interesting, I like collared shirts a lot and a lot of more professional dress and things like that. So a lot of those type of things are not typically given. So that's one piece of this. One of the things I do recommend for those kind of dressy things, you're probably gonna be like, what? Are you kidding me? That doesn't seem like a place to do this at. But hear me out, okay? Walmart. Okay, so here's why I'm suggesting this. Okay, so in Walmart they have this brand called George, okay, or George A, whatever. Okay, it's like this cheaper dress brand that they have like jeans, and they also have dress pants, and even some online they actually have suit jackets that match. Some of the stores do carry them. I find that it's a hit and miss on the suit jacket part. T-shirts, polo shirts, golf shirts, casual button-ups or short sleeve casual button-ups, and even long sleeve nice looking button-ups. So but there is a difference in that, and so I want to make sure that I'm telling you and guiding you in the right way here. So if you're looking for nicer looking things at a lower cost that you know that you're not going to wear forever, so like for example, this shirt is one of those Walmart shirts, believe it or not, and but there's levels in there. So there's like the $10 cheapies. Stay away from those. The fabric's not good. It's just not going to be a good time for you. Same thing with the pants. If it's like a $10, $15 pants, it's probably not what you want to do. There is in that brand, there is a performance label. Okay, so it's like a performance dress pant, performance comfort blazer, performance dress shirt. Okay, those things, when it says performance, that's where you're going to get that higher quality fabric. It's going to last you longer. It's going to have more flex to it, and they tend to fit better, and it's just a better quality all around. The dress pants are like $21. The suit jackets are $49.99. Before taxes, mind you, and the dress shirts are also around $20. I can't stress this enough. It's a really good option for transitional clothing. Once I get down to like a lower weight, I might go get a tailored suit and things like that, and look a little higher quality than that. But just to get the job done while you're in transition, I think that it's pretty apparent when you drop so much dramatic weight that people understand that. Particularly co-workers want to know that you're not going to probably look as on point as you probably would once you're done, or where you were before, because you had time to invest, or you're going to have time to invest in your wardrobe. So that's one thing that you all should know, is that you can do the thrift store route, the Walmart route, and then lastly there's also the Kirkland brand via Costco. I have found that to be kind of hit and miss, but you definitely can get that going. I do suggest, honestly, like, this is going to sound weird, the Kirkland boxer briefs. They breathe extremely well. They're very, very durable. They're stretchy, particularly on the legs. So if you have thicker thighs like I do, like, it's not gonna, cup them and cut off your circulation. Those are by far, for the value that you pay for those, best underwear that I possibly, could get, besides some kind of like specialty underwear that costs like $25 a pair. And who wants to do that? Like, I don't want to do that, particularly right now since I'm changing shapes. So, do what's affordable, do what's right for you. But just know that you're going to be spending some money as you're going through this transition. You should probably already have known that before you had the surgery, but just know that in terms of clothing, there are some options for you that I have found as a male that really play well. Like, you could stock up on an entire professional looking suit, professional looking everything, just at Walmart. They have some really nice, collared shirts there for casual wear. They have nice summer shirts. I tend to like to get some golfing shirts that they have there, just because they're durable, and when I don't need to wear them anymore, it's like, okay, I got my 20 looks out of this shirt, I'm good. I'm moving on now. So just keep it in mind as you go through this transition that you have options. You have these. But you don't want to spend a ton of money on this. So don't get tailored suits. Don't do anything until you're down to where you want to be. So that's it for this video. So just want to make sure to kind of talk to the dudes out there and let them know, like, hey, there's some changes that are going to be happening, and it's some good stuff. And I'm not going to mention dating, like the successes or the attention or the differences in how you get treated. That you will notice that, but this is strictly about what's actually physiologically changing, things of that nature. A couple of other side notes that I maybe not are worth going into too far in depth, but just be mindful of how much you eat, because if you don't eat enough, if you're not getting enough energy, you will feel lightheaded, and that can impact your energy levels, and that impacts a lot of the other stuff that I talked about previously too. And then communicate. If you are in a relationship or you are dating, don't be afraid to communicate that you did have surgery and you're doing it for the betterment of yourself and what have you, and that people just need to understand, like, hey, there's some changes that you're going to experience as you go through this whole body transition, that you may not be familiar with. Like, your body may react very very differently than before. So that's something to kind of keep in consideration. Anyways, if you like this video, please feel free to give a like and hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps set up this channel and get things moving forward. Last and surely not least, if you're looking for bariatric surgery services outside of the country, or if your insurance doesn't cover the surgery that you specifically want, or if you have to pay for it on your own pocket, whatever it may be, I have a partnership with Mexico Bariatric Center out of Tijuana, and they, because of the YouTube channel, because that's where I went to do my surgery, they're giving my viewers, my subscribers, a discount on any bariatric service if you choose to go through them. All you got to do is go to the website, www.mexicobariatriccenter.com/thatbsguy, links down below. Send in your name and information to them, and one of their United States-based customer service agents will get a hold of you, and then they'll take you through the process and handhold you through the whole thing. No obligation if you do put your information in, then just know that they will be contacting you for that, because that's what you're doing when you put your information in something. You want to get contacted. So if that's an option, feel free to click that link below. Anyways, thanks so much for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.